Good afternoon on 11/11. Thank you for joining me. It's been quite the day already. It's about 3 o'clock Pacific time for me here in northern Idaho. Um, been trying to get on here all day. Been super busy. And it's funny, as I was guided yesterday, actually, to get on here today, and I had a very prominent message. I was guided that I should jump on here first thing and do like a 11:11 at 11:11. And then the guides were kind of giggling at me, and they were saying, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Like it's always 5 o'clock. Um, it's always 11:11 is what they're sharing with me, is that it didn't matter what time I actually jumped on here. That we work in the quantum world. We don't have to be in specific time. We don't have to be so harsh on ourselves to get things done and complete in our worldly or manly or physical realm forces us to be, to let go of the time constraints and just be. And as it unfolds, it will completely unfold as it's supposed to be, and it will be in perfect, excuse me, I can't even talk already, perfect divine timing at all times, and to the reality of the construct of time throughout time over and over and over again, is what was shared with me as they were giggling and laughing at me, that I was really stressed about my day today, that I wanted to get in at a specific time, and my day was unfolding quite busy as I was trying to complete all my tasks so I could be here, and had other engagements, and I had to just let go. And here we are. And I just wanted to share with you, before I bring through some messages that want to come through. There's a lot of codes that are wanting to come through today on this portal, this 11:11 portal that's opening us up into a new realm of who we are, a new reality of who we are, awakening us in rapid form. And they're showing me into winter solstice, into December, December 21 of this next month, that it's going to continue to unfold, unravel, and is hitting us all extremely hard. Those of us that feel vibration are going to be feeling it. I know myself has been feeling tired, a lot of headaches, sickness. I've had many calamities. It's funny, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, all in a matter of 2 days, I thought was just me grinding, and a tooth that I've been keeping going since I was in college. I broke it in college. And so I've had 2 root canals, 4 crowns on 1 tooth. And it started bugging me. And this particular day, I had moved my sound machine from one of my friend's homes to another home for her to embrace it for a few weeks. And one of my friends was going through a lot of calamities in her life. And I don't know how or if or what any of that energy followed me, but I don't normally stay away from my sound machine that goes in my room for that long, but I've been away from it for a month, for 5 weeks, 5 weeks, and I think it was starting to wear on me, but this particular day, my tooth was starting to bug me, and we had gone to this restaurant. First, I stopped at this store to buy something for the shop, And by the time I got home, it was the wrong product after I'd searched and searched and bought 20 of them. And get home, it's the wrong product. And then I had gotten to a restaurant, and I heard, as soon as I walked in here, the restaurant had heard to go to a different restaurant. That this particular restaurant was full of energy that was not serving me, and for me to go to another one, I thought, no, this is fine. It'll be fine. And the food came. Dwayne's food was fine. My food came, and it was burnt. And as I was forcing myself to eat it, I could hear, this food is killing you. This food is poisoning you. And I was like, I know. I couldn't even swallow it. Dwayne was making fun of me because of the faces I was making. It was gross. And I was trying to be polite because this food had been prepared for me. It was bought for me. And I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't eat it. And I was hearing so many weird messages in this place. And so we left, and we get almost home, and I realize, and we're an hour away from this restaurant, because where we had gone, we were an hour and a half away. Mind you, I live in a little town off the beaten path, an hour and a half away from anything. And so I'm an hour away from this restaurant, and I realize I don't have my purse. And so we finally get this kid on this phone, and we go rushing back to Spokane, and he waits for us. And I kept hearing, I'm thinking in my head, he's going to take all my money. He's got my credit cards. He's got everything about me is in my purse, which is probably not a smart thing to do, to leave things like that in my purse, but my checkbook, everything. And I kept hearing, it is all fine. It is safe. There's nothing wrong. He's not going to take anything. And he didn't. He didn't take anything. And so I gave the kid, and the kid, this particular kid, me as a dental hygienist, I obviously noticed his teeth right away. He was suffering from a lot of meth mouth, decay and rot in his mouth. When we were leaving, he was doing a drug deal in the parking lot. I knew not to be in this space. But he was honest. He was forthright. I gave him money. My guides have told me to give him money regardless of what he was to do with it. It was my honor, and he was honorable. And for his honor to give him money. And so I gave him $20 for waiting for me, because he held the store open an extra 5-10 minutes because I was mad dash to get there before he closed. And to honor him. And I was going to invite him to my store. But I just instead were heard in my head, not to invite him to the store, but just to wish him well. I knew exactly what was going on in his life. We've all been in bad places, myself as well. And he just needed some love. And anyways, I knew the energy that I was in was infiltrating my field. I do believe that as strong of light that we are, and we can radiate divine light and divine love from our beingness to others when we engulf ourselves in frequencies that are not of our highest good for too long. We can get tears and infiltrations that can harm us. And so we got home, and everything was all okay. And then the next day, got my tooth taken out. Oh, I was in so much pain, and I was so sick. Oh, excuse me. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. I found out that my tooth had got infected, and for the next week, I was so sick because of my toothache. So the following week, I got my tooth out. I had gotten sepsis and gotten super, super sick because of it. Had to get on antibiotics. I don't like medications, but I had to get on antibiotics, and I was sick until the week later when they took it out. When within less than 24 hours of taking it out, I mean, I felt within a couple hours of taking it out, I felt so much better. The infection was gone, and woke up the next morning, and I felt so much better. And then my car broke down, but the thing was, I didn't get upset. I was broke down on the freeway, on the highway there, yeah, right there in the middle of Coeur d'Alene. And, a police officer came up behind me and canceled my tow truck and ordered me a different one. And I was a little frustrated. And then I was like, well, okay, well, we're just going to roll with whatever's going to happen. And he didn't want me to get that tow truck because it was going to take too long. So he ordered me this other tow truck. And I always know that when calamities happen, there's always a higher purpose in it. And so I just waited and to see what was going to happen. And ended up being some warranty work that got replaced and got fixed really quickly, no problem, and got a refund for some of it, and, no problem. But on my ride to the auto shop, the Les Schwab, to get this fixed, I ended up going out of the way. Didn't go where I had scheduled to go. We ended up driving for a half hour. And on this route to this drive, I'm visiting with this gentleman that's driving a tow truck. And first of all, his mother had the same last name that I have. Her maiden name was. So we started chatting, and I was giggling with him that, oh, well, we must be cousins and stuff. So we were sharing different medical histories and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, we really are cousins, of different things that have happened through our families and stuff, and genetic things. And so he had just had a transplant, a kidney transplant, for the similar thing that my mother has, or the same thing that my mother has. And he started sharing with me the way that he has been feeling since his transplant, and how he's been feeling about being guilty that he's alive. And I know this feeling very well. Not wanting to be here when other people can't. And the gentleman that gave him his kidney was a teenager that had taken his life. And so on this trip to the mechanic shop, him and I had this very profound discussion about spirit, communicating with spirit, our divine plan, and the way that we get to share each other's love and hope through this life. And he had been feeling so guilty for the past year and a half for being alive. And because I broke down, we were able to have such a profound conversation that I brought a little bit of hope to him in his purpose of being here, even though another cannot. And it has reminded me even more so of how we expand and embrace our own divine light to share with others. How we share our love, our joy, our weaknesses, and our strengths. So in these past few weeks, as I have not been feeling well, of all the things that have been coming through for me, um, ascension challenges, I guess you could say, expansion challenges. What is not serving me has been moving off in rapid form, including a tooth that had a root canal in it and a crown that they didn't want there any longer because I am detoxing everything out of my body. And even though it comes with discomfort, it is of necessary. Which was a big reminder to me that what is not serving us sometimes is uncomfortable to let go. And even in removing my tooth, the doctor I used to work for, he was going to put in a bone graft, and my guide said no synthetics in my body. So he was going to put a bone graft even in for free. And I had to say no. I mean, wanted to put in an implant, and I had to say no. So I'm, here at dental hygienist missing a tooth. I'll get a bridge. They said I could have a bridge, all porcelain, absolutely no metal in my body. So that will go in a couple of weeks when everything's completely healed, which I think is already. It's only been a week. It's already almost healed. But Spirit wanted me to bring through a message of sharing our weaknesses, sharing our joys with everybody. And we don't know what others are going through. And when we can be a strength for others, when we can be an inspiration of others, we don't know. So it is okay to share our love with others, share our truth with others. We don't have to give everybody our entire story, but let them know that they're not alone, that we have all gone through a path, a journey of, I guess, dark night of the soul, exploration, journey of finding who we are. If you are listening at this point to me, I know that you're looking to find your truth, yourself, your own honor, your own love. That's what we're here for. And share that with others. They've guided me to continue working on my book. And I've been doing a few little reports or articles, I guess I should say. Maybe those will go into my book and bring things together a little easier. Maybe that's why I've been doing articles, as each piece is coming together a little differently to share my journey and my truth of who I am with all of you. There is a lot of things that are unfolding at this moment. A lot of things that, in the world, in the universe, that are happening in rapid form. And they just keep sharing with me that it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be disturbing for many, but there's purpose in all things. And sometimes what we think we want is not always what we need. And so when we sit down and commune with our guides, our ancestors, our angels, our team, our highest love of all that we are, ourselves, our God selves, they constantly are reminding me to ask upon thyself of what is needed in this moment. Not what do I want. What I want is irrelevant. What is needed to bring forth the highest love of all that I am in all things throughout all, not just thine self, throughout all things. The service to self is of nigh, they tell me. It is now the service to the all. For we are one love, one breathing of union of hearts. And when we think upon only thine self, then we are not comforting. They're sharing, comforting, or communing with the all. When we deny thyself self-exploration and self-reverence and thy beauty, then we are also not comforting with the all. For when we look upon thyself and we look upon thy neighbor as the highest light of all that we are, then we will know the trueness of what the all is, what union of love is. For when we see thine light in thy light, the oneness of the all, breathing in all things, that is where we will find the highest of love. As long as we believe that we are one thing or the other, as long as we act as though we are one thing or the other, then we will continue to be in separation from the all. When we engulf thy actions and thine actions together as one, breathing in unison for purpose, and allow the movement to be at hand to move us into one way or another, then we will fully embrace creation and creator as one unified force. They're bringing me back to the thought of death of one to save the other. For in the union of all things, there is no death. And in the union of all things, there is no life. It is a construct in the mind's eye that we live and die, rather than a knowing that the spark of creation of all that is expressing one beingness in a field of resonance with you in the form of which you'd reside. The force of all that is of one breathing into expressions of love of all things. They're showing me a field of flowers and a field of trees, a field of rabbits. All are equally the same. They are a field of cells that are on this planetary being at this time. All the same spark of creator and creation. How you perceive it to be in your mind's eye is how it is. All is the same beauty. Just as in the peoples of the land of which you reside, a field of one man to a field of another man are all of divine beauty and same creation of creator, expressing oneself in divine perfectness. But your perception of what it to be is of no concern of it or not. Your perception is of your choosing to relate to. You have choosing to perceive all things of divine beauty, or pick and choose of not. Truth of all is divine beauty of all essences from creator, and all that you are is of no differences from one to another. They're sharing with me as if a code of light to be brought into you at this time to share with the all that exists within and around you, to bring forth a higher knowing of who you are in all things. And this code is of your light, no other. Your divine beauty, your divine light, your divine love, to bring forth the higher knowing of who you are in all things. For when you see your divine frequency of highest light and love, you will know the truth of all. You can choose to accept, ignore, embrace, embody all that you choose. There will be a quickening and there will be a slowing, but there will eventually be an awakening of you. It is all upon your choices. We ask thee to embrace thine own light, nothing other. For your light is the same beauty as thine light. And as we radiate this light further and further into the cosmos, all will feel the beauty of all that is. We ask thee to welcome you. If it pleases you, we welcome thee. Anenno costanana, the corona kadishit guru no kutuji, the karakanstanana, kuru the nana. And then coaches to the Kurusan and the Greta Gargos and the Great State, the correct just the getting a cricket in the correct city. I could just go to Runaricanis and another Karakichi Kuru and no cotis that get of Kurus than the Karaka. I just could get a native cushion and negative cushion and naked to Kuru Rokarana. I just go to and I got a cushion and the Kutu to dignity. I get a school codis and I get a school cooks and a kid could get it. I get to put it and I get it to the quarters nana. I get you to put it to Kurukoska and said that I put this and I got a put. I did you could just take and I got to put this and another. They're talking about it is not coming from the higher realms. This is coming from you, my loves. You are the higher realms. There is no separation. We only ask that you awaken to thine own divine light and let thy love flow through you. There is nothing that you must do but radiate your love. Build thy field, build thy frequency to the highest of splendor. Ara coaches the Kuru to the Nether, Kiskurana, Kiskur to the Kurana, to get in now. Or did you get it to put it to the coach to the Nark to the Granite, Kuru, Tedra, Arashikoro, chirana get a quotana. I teach go no to chirana, could you to the water to good chirana. I get you to watch and I get you to get a naked water and I got a good I teach question and I can shoot I can shoot I can shoot you get a kuchana. I go Uchana, I teach you to go look at the kitchen and I can get you to go to I go to the Uchana, I can Uchana, I do to the Grokashana, I can to the water and I gotta get you and I gotta go to the na. I didn't go to Sinagro, Shiragana, Shiragana, I can should know what it and I can should go and I can should go to and I can should go to that. I teach Kuchana, I can should go to I teach Kuchana, I can should go to and just get it up. I teach coaches and I get to go to the good and I teach go to the Gadashi, go to the Nagashi, get it and I gotta get other chicken in ways of blessings upon you. I teach ocean and I just go from the creator of all that is, creator of all that you are in all things. So we're going to go to the get getting all good and then they get all good and then I get you shouldn't go and then they get out and she didn't go and then I did get ocean and in it, ocean 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 in it, get up to water. I let you water, ocean in it, ocean in it, ocean in it, I teach you to tuition and then I can tuition a tuition. I teach you to go to I teach you what I know, she don't go to I teach you to go to Nana. I teach you not, or I teach you not, you should know what is Nana, I question another good Shana. I teach you to go to Nana, because you get peace be with you, my love, so go to Shana. I teach you to go to Skuru, we grace thee and all that is. Skuru to Nana. I teach you to the ocean and eat to go to Nana. I teach you to go to Nana. I teach you to go to Nana, teach you to go to Nana, get to Nana, to teach you to Nana. I teach you to I teach you to go to Nana. I teach you to I teach you to ocean and eat it to go to get you to go to Nana. I teach you to I teach you to I teach you to but you could get in an anna to go to the nana, to the nigger coachana, I teach you to go to Nana, I teach you to oceanana, I get you oceanana, I just oceana. Oceana, I teach you to oceana. They're saying, peace be with you, my loves, and many thanks, and many thanks, many thanks, many thanks, many thanks, many thanks. And everybody's talking at once. Many thanks, many thanks, many thanks, many thanks, many thanks, many thanks. So go to Nana, he's getting go to the get a school to Nana. I teach you to I teach you to Nana. I teach you to go to the Nana, should go to the Nana, to go to Nana, each to the Nana, to Ocean, Ocean, You are loved, my loves. You are loved. You are loved, my loves. What is an arakashira? You should need to get to the Kotana Arakishana. There's something going on with my third eye that's going to go to just going to do this. It's like there's a shedding, like there's there's something's peeling off my forehead. Bring him off a veil of darkness or not darkness as in bad, but so you can see the as we see the There's a very large being standing right here, and he keeps acknowledging Don't you go to this go to the section to see. Go to get sana nari get go eat stu go eat the nana got to go to the nana. I get you go to the nari get you akata no to the nana eat you to no go to the nana. I get you go to na get you nene get go to nana get you okata nana I get you go to nana I get it each or right is going to get it go to nana. I need to go to sana get it go question and I need you to do the willingness to see is upon you. I think I thank you for being here. Give me a second here. this being that was been standing over here, I could hear him in my ears talking. He was really, really adamant that for us to see ourselves, as we see, they see us, as we see it, as I see you. Yeah. So much thanks for being here, and I welcome all of you into your own heart, in your own light. I know there can be, it's scary, it's frustrating. I get it. There's a lot of stuff happening right now, and we really don't know what's happening half the time. And I feel for you guys all that if any of you are feeling sick like I've been feeling sick, I feel for you. You know, it sucks. It really does suck. And being able to bring through messages of hope for people is my greatest joy, because I know that it can be super, super scary. So I hope that this is an inspiration for some or anyone. I hope that my message or codes brought through a frequency that is needed at this time. If anyone, as always, ever wants a personal session, you can always find me at aurachakravibe on Instagram and Facebook. And you can schedule a session through my website, palmoscrystals.com, or just go on there and look at what sessions I offer, and you can just call me at the shop. And if anybody is local, you're more than welcome to come in the crystal shop. Have a beautiful day. Don't let things get you down. I know life can be a little wild, can be a little crazy, uncomfortable, but let's let all this energy flow so we can be here to help other people. Love you.